hate on us.
We're fabulous!
They do that all the time in our school, by the way. Great. My name is Claudia Delarios Moran. I'm the proud principal of Buena Vista Horseman K-8 Community School. And we take that title very seriously. We really do try to foster community and a sense of inclusion at all times, and also decrease any sense of isolation that students might be experiencing, especially on the
So as she mentioned, Ghana, that's actually our saying, don't hate on us, we're fabulous. We came up with that. It stands for Grupo para el Avance de Niñas y sus Aliadas. And we started it 7 years ago, and it was originally a group to support girls, and in order for girls to be better at relationships and building community, and then it evolved into a group for not just girls, but non-binary, non-gender binary students and their allies as well.
So our work with Ghana and our work with our students inspired us to pursue the iLab process, and as we began our iLab process, we kept in mind how are we going to ensure that they graduate with the SFUSD graduate profile competencies. In particular, we focus on the 6th competency. We want all of our students, regardless of gender, to graduate with a healthy sense of self-knowledge and self-esteem. And in addition, we want them to have the grit to pursue their goals and overcome whatever structural inequities they may face based on their gender identity. Which led us to our initial iLab design question: how does gender identity impact the experience of our girls/non-binary students at BVHN? And we embarked on the discovery part of our journey. And we knew that gender impacts our students, but we didn't know to what extent. So we dove into some research, looking at district surveys, in particular the SEL data, disaggregated it by gender and by age. We looked at what families are saying about our school, and we interviewed a small portion of our student population. We went back to the drawing board during our define phase, and we realized we needed more stakeholder engagement, and also that girls feel safer physically and emotionally than the boys did. There was a strong internalization of stereotypes by staff and students, and that most physical areas were dominated by boys, students who identified as boys. So this led us to 3 key intriguing insights. After we did more research with our users, we had students interview students, teachers interview teachers, we did classroom observations, hallway observations, and it led us to say that the physical spaces of our school are not designed to meet our students' needs. Even though the boys have more control over the space, they feel unsafe physically. And in unstructured situations, those same harmful patterns of gender stereotypes occur between staff and students, and between students and students. So this led us to our How Might We questions, the design challenge question. How do we redesign our bathrooms, cafeteria, and yard, which are the 3 key unstructured physical spaces, to meet students' needs and foster safety? And how would we encourage staff to create structures that ensure equitable participation across the gender spectrum?
Okay, and I think this is me. So our initial prototypes actually are very close to our final ones, because when we shared this with staff and students, they were like, yeah. And there were only a few little tweaks, like when they wanted the PD, you know, there was a lot of talk about that. No, we don't want it. Yes, we wanted it this time. We want it at the BSI, you know. And also with some of the students, just talking to them, you know, some students are very for having a gender neutral bathroom, and other students are a little more apprehensive. So we tried to incorporate that. And through iteration, we incorporated these ideas into our new prototypes.
Right, and so the other thing that we know from our research is that Ghana has a positive impact, but we need to cast a wider net if we want to have a larger impact at our school. And our students are actually the ones who are leading us in this. And here's a picture of them. So they've already said, the Ghana and the GSA, we want a gender awareness week, and they're already doing this work. They want to lead workshops on how to write letters to our Congress people about how to make changes at schools. They want to have a Wear Purple Day in support of trans students. They're translating the SFUSD, Letter of Support for Trans and Non-Binary Students, into Spanish for our school population, so our students know their rights and know that they're supported. So what we want to do is support them in that by getting a lot of different staff and families to work together, and we're going to pay them for this work so that we can support them in having a week of celebration of gender diversity. And we were going to create lessons and also read alouds, and we're going to archive these things so that teachers can continue to use them for the rest of time. Great, and that's going to cost about $6,400.
Our major, this is like what we really want to do is our major overhaul in order to address like the deeper internalized beliefs and structures and language around gender that our staff hold. We want to do an all staff training at the beginning of the year, and when we say all staff, we mean everybody. We mean paras, we mean lunchroom monitors, we mean administrators, everybody, and that we would train them for 4 hours at the start of the Before School Institute, and we would have 3 follow-up PDs throughout the year. And we would do this in collaboration with another organization like Gender Spectrum or the SWSD LGBTQ Support Services staff to have us be the trainers also so that we learn how to do these things. In the red is our what we really want to do, and we're going to be applying for the what is it called, the Superintendent's Award, that we would like to create gender-neutral bathrooms. And this is like a real quick drawing of it. It would kind of like be like in a restaurant where you have different bathrooms and then a shared sink in the middle. But that's for another presentation. Okay, and this is what it would cost, basically $24,000 to get this done. Ready? No, go ahead. Okay. Okay, and so this is our entire budget. This is what we're asking for. So really quickly, phase 1, minor upgrades to the bathroom and cafeteria, including signs and posters. Phase 2, gender diversity celebration, with including lessons and parent workshops. Phase 3 would be all staff professional development to address gender inequity at our school. Total ask $33,000.
So the timeline of this would be starting next month. We would submit work orders, do all the initial phase 1 stuff, get the students, get the Gender Diversity Awareness Week up and running, prep staff for next school year so that we have the wherewithal and structure to plan those professional developments, and then from 2019 through 2020, create a gender awareness committee that ensures that we are following through on our professional development plan. So by the end of next school year, how do we plan to measure our success? So we're going to be observing for equitable participation and gender awareness through staff and student language, so going out in our hallways, listening, what do we hear? We will review that same SEL survey data that we saw at the beginning of the school year and see, do our boys feel physically safer? Do our girls feel safer? Do families feel like their students are safe? And then survey staff. We're going to ask them how they felt about the Gender Diversity Awareness Week and how do staff feel.
Don't hate on us.
We're